Hello, Philadelphia, and welcome to the Seth Joyner Show. The Phillies are on to the NLDS, and the Eagles are 5-0 and prepping for the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Philly, are you not entertained? I said, are you not entertained? It's time for my game breakdown. Well, the Eagles traveled to Arizona and got off to a hot start, 14-0, but allowed the Cardinals to make a game of it. And of course, getting the W is most important, and we're happy the Birds are 5-0. But with Dallas coming up next, we need to analyze, evaluate, and critique what went right and what went wrong Sunday in Arizona. The Birds dealt with O-line injuries in the first half to Kelsey and Dickerson, and with Mailata already out, I'm not sure how much playing the backups dictated play calling in the second and the third quarters. They were pretty heavy pass via bubble screens and short to intermediate routes and didn't get the run game going until late. The play calling and game plan seemed simplistic for the first time this season, and I thought the opponent out-adjusted and out-schemed the Eagles' offensive coaches. On the defensive side, I really thought that Jonathan Gannon's mindset had shifted. The defense had been so dominant the last 3 games, pressuring quarterbacks, challenging wide receivers at the line of scrimmage, and creating turnovers. Versus the Cardinals, after securing a 14-point lead, it seemed to regress back to being passive, playing soft coverages and seemingly fearful of turning up the heat on Kyler Murray, and so found themselves struggling to the very end to secure the W. That's my game breakdown. Joining me in studio now is the voice of the Philadelphia Eagles radio broadcast, the incomparable Meryl Reese. Meryl, my friend, how are you?
I am great, Seth. Great to be with you.
Well, thank you for being with me today. Listen, Meryl, we're thrilled about the Philadelphia Eagles being 5-0. But what concerns you most about this football team leading into the game against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday?
Just their health. They need to get Jordan Mailata back. You want Jason Kelsey, who came out for a while, to be healthy again. You want to get the kicker, Jake Elliott, back. They did well last year with Dicker the kicker last week, but you don't know how long that can last. So you want to get healthy. You want to get Avonte Maddox back, Boston Scott. So that's the only thing that concerns me, other than the fact that the Cowboys are a very good team.
Listen, Meryl, you know, Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen have a lot of weapons at their disposal. I guess the question is it possible at times that there's a little confusion on who to give the ball to and who not to give the ball to? I mean, you got 2 number 1 wide receivers, you've got an elite level tight end, and a running back that's playing the best he's ever played.
I don't think there's ever a problem with having too much wealth, and they do have talent in the playmaking department. So one week it may be Avonte, it may be Brown. The next week it may be Smith. Devontae Smith was fantastic, aside from the one drop in this past game. So you never know. And then Dallas Goedert, what a remarkable play he made on that last third down to keep his balance and put them in position to score.
So, you know, the point of contention, I think, for everyone is the defense. Okay, Jonathan Gannon has shown he's been aggressive the last few weeks with great success. Against the Cards, he seemed to regress a little bit, to be a little more passive once they got the lead. In your opinion, why is that?
So he would be able to explain his reasoning. It's tough for me to second guess it because I think he's really, really sharp. Right.
So there was a multitude, I should say, of questions about Jalen Hurts going into this season, which you've seen over a 5-game stretch. And I know that you weren't the one questioning him, but there's been a lot of questions. How do you feel about how Jalen Hurts is progressing
I
right
think
now?
he has been tremendous. I think at this point, the way he's playing, he would be in an argument for the MVP award. But I will tell you that from the very beginning, I saw his qualities, and his dedication is so amazing. Nobody is more focused on what he has to do, works harder, has greater respect from the team. I thought his arm talent was very much underestimated by a lot of people. There's nothing that he can't do.
After 5 weeks, what do you think it is that they need to improve upon to get to a point where they can play a solid game, a complete game with everybody involved, special teams, defense, and offense?
It's everything has to improve. The thing I like is that Jalen Hurts hates to hear 5-0. He doesn't want to hear that. Nick Sirianni doesn't want to hear, oh, let's puff out our chest, we're 5-0. They say, and Doug Peterson used to say this too, let's go 1-0. Just play this game. Just focus on this game. So it's consistency. It's little things here, little things there that can get you into trouble. But so far, with the help of a kicker who was wide right, this team is, I can say it, they're 5-0, and it's a lot of fun for all of us.
So, Meryl, you're up and close and personal to this team week in and week out. Tell me, in your opinion, what are the keys to this game coming up? What do the Eagles have to do to handle this defense offensively and defensively, take away the weapons on the Cowboys?
Offensively, they have to stand tough against this Cowboys defense. It is so important for this offensive line to be back and healthy. The key could be Jordan Mailata operating against Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a phenomenal player. And the Cowboys have a lot of strengths on that defense. But I think they're better offensively than a lot of people think also.
Right.
They're a good team. They're a good team. You look, with the Eagles, with the Cowboys, I don't think any of us can use the word great right now, 5 games into a 17-game season. But the Cowboys are, you use the word formidable. Mm-hmm. They are formidable, and the Eagles have to take care of business. I think it will be a great game. But one warning, it is not the end of the world. Maybe the December 24th meeting could turn out to be that.
Right.
But after this game, there are still 11 games left. 11 left after this. So it's big, and it could be a momentum hike for one of these two teams, the one who wins, but it's not the end of the world.
Meryl, my friend, I appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming in.
It's my pleasure.
Before we go to break, okay, I want you to say hello to your colleague, the voice of the Dallas football broadcast, Brad Sham. Brad, you there?
I'm here. Meryl, how you doing, buddy?
Great, Brad. It's great to see you. Boy,
Great to see you. You know what's funny, Meryl? This is your 46th year, right?
It is 46.
So Seth, that means between us, we have been doing these jobs for a combined 90 years.
Wow.
And after a certain point, what Meryl just said to you about week 6, it's exactly what I said at the end of a radio show that we did with Tyler Smith last night. It's going to be a great game.
Absolutely.
You know, what Brad didn't say is when we started, the two of us, I was 14. It was an after-school thing.
Well,
that would have made me 9, I think. So,
congrats to you both on a long and prosperous career. Okay, so when we return, Brad will be joining me as we talk about this Sunday Night Football matchup between the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Special thanks to our show sponsor, Bridgeview Partners. Bridgeview Partners specialize in IT service management and helping businesses separate from their competition. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com and let them know Seth Joyner sent you.
Bridgeview Partners strategic IT consulting and services, saving clients money and time by optimizing enterprise systems for over 10 years now. If you're an IT professional, what are you waiting for? Contact a very experienced team at Bridgeview Partners. These guys have an awesome reputation in the Philadelphia market for their thought leadership, specializing in infrastructure optimization and IT service management for healthcare, retail, finance organizations, and many others. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com to learn more, and go Eagles!
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, let's do a deal and I'll throw in this great gift. Hoi!
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
Former Eagles linebacker Seth Joyner here to tell you about Artie Clear kitchens, baths, drywall, and roofing. For kitchens and bathrooms, roofing, windows, and other home improvement needs, call my friend Artie Clear. Get 100% no money down financing with payments as low as $59 per month. The first 59 calls will also receive a $400 discount on their first order. And if you're a senior citizen, double. Look for Artie's ad in the Metro. Call today. Artie Clear, kitchens, baths, drywall, and roofing. Welcome back. Brad Sham has been with the Dallas Cowboys since 1976 and is now the voice of the radio broadcast for the Dallas Cowboys. Brad, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Seth. Thank you. It's great to be with you. I've told you this off the air. I'll tell you on the air. I loved watching you play, and you're as impressive in that suit as you were in the other one. A little less intimidating, but no less impressive.
Well, thank you, my friend. Listen, let's talk some football, the upcoming game. I guess the biggest question in Dallas right now is whether it'll be Cooper Rush under center or Dak Prescott under center come Sunday night.
And they won't tell us. I really believe they don't know right now. And I do know, Seth, that I talked to Dak in the locker room in L.A. on Sunday after the game. I said, "How are you?" He said, I'm changing by the day. So he hasn't practiced yet. They've been very clear that they want to see him practice for a full week before they send him out there, especially against a defense like the Eagles. And so he's got to be able to grip the ball. He's then got to be able to control it. And he may be at that point, but we haven't seen it. And none of us have seen him throw. And they won't practice until tomorrow. So I will tell you that for me, I'd be a little bit surprised if he played, but I do know that he's an amazing competitor, and they understand the importance of this game.
Right.
So if there's a chance for him to play and be effective,
right,
then he'll play. But you know better than any of us that the key part is being effective, because if you're not all of who you are, you may be hurting your team instead of helping.
So if it is Dak, do you expect a heavy emphasis, on the run? Lending to play action pass, or will it be, business as usual as far as Kellen Moore's play calling?
I think that is the $64 question, because the way that he has run the offense since Dak went out has been a little more tailored to Rush. Now, Kellen and Mike McCarthy will tell you they've not called the games any differently. Some of us who watch them might beg to differ for a little bit, but they've had the luxury of the defense playing exceptionally well and the special teams also. So when you don't have to score 28 or 35 points in order to win a game, then you can play a certain way. Running the ball was something during the spring that they said was going to be an emphasis for them, that they felt they had to do it better. And they did have to do it. They were right. They did and do have to do it better. You won't always be able to. And then if someday the other team is going to score more than one touchdown, which is all they've given up in any game. And when that happens, then you may have to play offense a little bit differently. And then we'll get into all of the questions that were being asked in the offseason about the quality of their receivers, which is a little better than it was at the beginning of the year with Michael Gallup back. But I think the game kind of dictates that. My guess is, Seth, they will want to run the ball going in and have to be prepared to do whatever they have to do to keep up.
Right. How do you see Cooper Rush, if he does play on Sunday, handling the Sunday night spotlight?
The spotlight's not a problem. I mean, he started Monday night in New York. I mean, that's fine. He's beaten both of last year's Super Bowl teams. They just won in LA. The spotlight's not a problem. He's a very calm, collected, intelligent guy who is hard to rattle. They have had backup. Everyone has had backup quarterbacks who, once the game got going, you could tell the jitters. He won't rattle. That doesn't mean he'll be effective, but he won't shrink from the spotlight. That won't be the problem.
Got you. With the Eagles being the only undefeated team left in the National Football League, and the Dallas Cowboys and the surprising Giants, New York Giants at 4-1, the NFC least is starting again to look like the NFC beast. Your thoughts?
I wouldn't go as far as to say beast yet, but I don't think least is accurate anymore. Let's give the Giants some time to see how they stand up to the rigors of the season, and they're a somewhat, well, everybody's imperfect, but I think the Giants are a somewhat imperfect team. But they've done some things very well, and they are extremely well coached now, and they believe in their new head coach. That's how you win a game like they did against Green Bay. They'll get other tests, and we'll see if they can keep up. I still think Philadelphia and Dallas are better than the other two teams, but then nobody thought the Giants would be 4-1 either. So just, props to them, and the division's unquestionably better than it was last year.
Quick question about the defense. So Dan Quinn has not only transformed himself as a defensive coordinator, but he's transformed this defense. What has Micah Parsons' effect been on not only the defense, but the entire team?
Oh, it's tremendous, because Merrill was right. He's an unusual player. You played with some. You were pretty good yourself, but he's an unusual player who can do things that you can't really account for, and that's absolutely helped. He hasn't done it alone. DeMarcus Lawrence is still a really outstanding player. Trayvon Diggs is coming along. He's going to be a top cornerback. They have done a great job of building depth, quality depth. So up front, they can rotate a lot of different people in. I think their linebackers are probably the best group they've had in quite some time, if you include Parsons, along with Leighton Vander Esch and the addition of Anthony Barr. And I'll promise you the safety room is, as a group now, it's the best and deepest it's been in 30 or 40 years.
Brad, thanks. I got to run. Thanks for your time and insight. When I come back, daily fantasy football and betting expert Brad Feinberg is up next to help you set your roster and pick this week's winners. This segment is sponsored by Davis Honda. I drive a Davis Honda, and you should too.
Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results. When you need an attorney, you need an experienced trial lawyer who will never settle for less, who's not afraid to try your case, will fight for you and keep you informed. Charles Mandrakia and the team at Mandrakia Law have decades of experience. They are ethical but aggressive. Personal injury, DUI or DWI, commercial or civil litigation, criminal defense, experience matters. Visit the website mmattorneys.com and remember the name, Mandrakia Law. Attorneys you can trust, we get results.
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, let's do a deal and I'll throw in this great gift. Hoi!
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
Birds fans, if you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and reliable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference and work harder for you. With financial centers strategically located to serve the greater Philadelphia area, we are ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Visit midpennbank.com or call the number on your screen. Mid-Penn Bank, the right bank for you. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
Welcome back. Brad Feinberg, my in-house fantasy football and betting guru, joins me now. Brad, how you doing?
Outstanding, Seth. Looking forward to this week.
Brad, you had a good week last week. Brady, Lockett, Cook, and the Dallas defense had big days for your undervalued picks, while Murray, McCaffrey, Lamb, and Kittle and the Chargers defense certainly were overvalued. You were 2-2 on your game picks. The Cardinals at -5, the Vikings at -7 if you locked them in early in the week at -6, and then Miami at -3 and Tampa Bay at -8. So who do you like this week as your underrated players and your underrated defense for week 6?
Seth, I'm going to start. Look, Pittsburgh, Kenny Pickett. He threw for over 300 yards last week against the #1 ranked pass defense in the NFL. I know Tampa Bay is not an easy defense, but it's hard to run on this team. I think Kenny Pickett's actually pretty decent. He's the cheapest fantasy quarterback on the board this week, saying he's the worst pick. I don't think he's the worst pick at all. I think he's going to be decent. Give me Kenny Pickett. And I'm going to give you his tag team partner at wide receiver, Seth. I'm going to say George Pickens. This is the guy, Seth, when I watch this guy play, the catches this guy makes are unbelievable. And it seems like he has a real connection with Pickett. The preseason, he targeted him a bunch. He had 6 catches for 85 yards last week. And again, he's dirt cheap. I think he's a legitimate play. Running back, love, not like love Ramondre Stevenson, probably the best play on the board. A lot of people should have him. He's very, very cheap. No Damian Harris. Without Damian Harris, this is the guy last week. He led all rushers last week. He had about 170 yards. This guy averages almost 5 yards a carry. Without Harris, he's going to get full workload. Love Ramondre Stevenson. He's a must play. And defense, look, you may hold your nose a little bit on this one, Seth, but look, usually when a team fires their coach, you get a little bit of a bump emotional-wise. Carolina just fired Coach Rule. I'm facing a Rams team that's no offense at all. They're the cheapest defense on the board. I like Carolina.
Okay, now your overrated players in defense for week 6 as well.
Well, again, hence me liking Carolina's defense means I can't like Matt Stafford, right? Matt Stafford's just been really bad. Not all his fault. Poor line play throughout for this team. Besides Cooper Kupp, not much on offense. Really cannot trust him. I'm fading Matt Stafford. He's too expensive. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I think he's overrated to begin with, but now you're going to be facing a Buffalo team. So they're not going to be running the ball much. You know, against Josh Allen, this is going to be a shootout. There's not going to be a lot of runs for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Because he has a lot of touchdowns, he's priced accordingly too high. I would fade him. Deebo Samuel, probably my favorite player in the NFL, Seth, to watch play, but he's not getting any catches this year, Seth. Only 2 catches last week. It's a team that runs the ball, plus Terrell's a good cornerback. Like, I just I can't trust him because I don't think he's going to get the volume needed to be one of the more expensive players. And defense, I said, Green Bay, this team has been awful all year defensively, facing, in my opinion, an improved Jets team. I'm fading Green Bay, too expensive.
All right, Brad. So quickly, give me your top 4 teams for this week coming up, and the points.
Okay, I'm going to give you 4 games, Seth. Look, real quick, Packers over 46.5. Jets, in my opinion, underrated offense. Green Bay's defense has not been good, and they're going much more pass recently. Green Bay like that over. Cardinals minus 2.5 against Seattle. Again, I think Seattle's getting a little bit too much credit. Their defense is god-awful. Arizona, me with Kyler Murray, the better team. I'll take my chance. They win by at least a field goal. My favorite game of the week, Seth, Indianapolis laying 1.5. This is the all-time revenge game. They lost twice in a row to them. I think I like the way Pierce looked last week, even if Jonathan Taylor does not play like them. And then Monday night, Seth, I'm going with Philly. I think that Dallas has had a great story with defensively all year, but now I think they're going to be trailing in this particular game. I think laying less than a touchdown. I don't think Rush does it. I like Philly.
Brad, as always, appreciate your time and your expertise, my friend. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Seth. I appreciate you.
When I come back, final thoughts and my predictions for the game of the week. Cowboys versus Eagles on Sunday Night Football. Special thanks to Strategic Sports Marketing. They've taken care of me for 15 years. They'll do the same for you. For over 20 years now, Strategic Sports Marketing has been a leader in the sports industry. With deep relationship among athletes and companies of all sizes, SSM knows what it takes to build effective partnerships. They've been helping me for 15 years now. From speaking engagements and endorsement deals to special guest appearances and much more, no budget is considered too small. And check out SSM's sister company at sportsvaultshop.com, where you'll find everything for your gift-giving needs. Keep an eye out for upcoming coupon codes exclusive to the Seth Joyner Show. Former Eagles linebacker Seth Joyner here to tell you about Artie Clear Kitchens, Baths, Drywall, and Roofing. For kitchens and bathrooms, roofing, windows, and other home improvement needs, call my friend Artie Clear. Get 100% no money down financing with payments as low as $59 per month. The first 59 calls will also receive a $400 discount on their first order. And if you're a senior citizen, double. Look for Artie's ad in the Metro. Call today, Artie Clear Kitchens, Baths, Drywall, and Roofing.
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, let's do a deal and I'll throw in this great gift. Hoi!
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
Welcome back. Although there are concerns about last week's win in Arizona, a win is a win. I have 2 concerns going into this matchup against the Cowboys. How will Shane Steichen help Jalen Hurts deal with and adjust to the pressure that the Cowboys defense will apply? Well, teams use weeks 1 and 5 as a blueprint to disrupt the Birds' offense. And second, which Jonathan Gannon defense will we see? The aggressive one that makes things happen, or the passive one that tries to bend but don't break, but ultimately does? The Birds have the advantage of home field. And I think like week one, although they won, they know a much better effort will be necessary to beat the Dallas Cowboys. But I still like the Philadelphia Eagles in a close one, 27-24. That's the show for this week. A program reminder, the Birds and the Seth Joyner Show are on bye next week. I'll be back on October 25th. We'll look back on the first 6 games of the season and ahead to the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Link in Week 8. Good evening.
Bridgeview Partners Strategic IT Consulting and Services, saving clients money and time by optimizing enterprise systems for over 10 years now. If you're an IT professional, what are you waiting for? Contact the very experienced team at Bridgeview Partners. These guys have an awesome reputation in the Philadelphia market for their thought leadership, specializing in infrastructure optimization and IT service management for healthcare, retail, finance organizations, and many others. Go to bridgeviewpartners.com to learn more, and go Eagles!
This car is a steal. Hey, Seth, let's do a deal and I'll throw in this great gift. Hey!
Is that the way you used to buy a car? Forget about it. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Davis Honda has over 300 pre-owned vehicles right now. Come see why Davis Honda won Best of Burlington 6 years in a row.
I'm Seth Joyner, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Seth, Caitlin, you forgot your great gift.
Birds fans, if you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and reliable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference and work harder for you. With financial centers strategically located to serve the greater Philadelphia area, we are ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Visit midpennbank.com or call the number on your screen. Mid-Penn Bank, the right bank for you. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!